A de facto U.S. oil embargo of Venezuela is increasing economic pain in the South American country, where millions of people continue to flee chronic food shortages and oppression at home.
It hasn't created the humanitarian crisis that was created by the Venezuelan government under Nicolas Maduro, by his policies and mismanagement and corruption and all the rest. That is what's the cause of the humanitarian crisis. But it becomes even worse, I think, with the economic sanctions that are in effect that are very strong.
Expectations that socialist leader Nicolas Maduro will soon be forced to step down because of U.S.-led sanctions and diplomatic pressure seem to be fading as the crisis continues. In January, the United States and 50 other nations recognized Juan Guaido, the head of Venezuela's National Assembly, as the country's interim leader after Maduro blocked opposition candidates in last year's presidential election. The Trump administration halted Venezuelan oil sales in the United States that had provided nearly 90% of the country's hard currency. Maduro has endured the increased international pressure and continues to receive key support from Venezuela's military leadership that could fear retribution for past abuses if the opposition gains power. The United States also imposed new economic sanctions on Cuba, in part for allegedly propping up the Maduro government with thousands of military and security advisors. Russia, too, has increased its support for Maduro by sending plane loads of military personnel and blocking condemnation of his government at the UN Security Council. At the same time, talk of possible U.S.-led military action has also faded in the face of strong resistance from Brazil and Colombia, key allies in the region.
They have drawn a line. They've taken a strong stand politically, diplomatically, but they're not willing to go to the use of force.
While U.S. sanctions and increasing public protests could still force democratic change in Venezuela, the hardship for most Venezuelans show no sign of ending soon. Brian Padden, VOA News, Washington.